So welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. It's an absolutely beautiful day today here in Pennsylvania, and the perfect day to put old Bluford to work. This beauty right here is a 1974 Ford. It's 48 years old. I bought this off Craigslist about a month and a half ago. It does not have the original engine in it. It was replaced with a Cat 3208, and I learned something already today about that 3208. And that is, it doesn't smoke near as much on a warm day like today compared to when we brought it home. Now what we're doing here, we're hauling some of this good clay shale mix. This makes really good fill from right here down past the woodshed, and I'm building a nice road to get down to the lower wood yard. Now the way this truck is sitting right here is not the proper way to load that truck. However, the power steering in this truck, let me just say, it requires an incredible amount of power to steer it. So with that being said, all I'm doing, I'm loading it up the way it's sitting right here. I back it down past the woodshed, start down that road a little bit, dump, and come straight back up. If the truck steered a little bit better, I would definitely turn it around. But this area down here, you know, I've got a lot of stuff to work around right here, so it's best just to go back and forth the way I am. So the first load that I hauled down there, that was, what was it, 5? No, it was 6 buckets from the 97-2. So that probably works out close to, I'd say, about 5 cubic yards. Handled it very well. Didn't have any problem dumping it. So I think the next couple, I'll probably put 7 buckets in it. We'll see how it does. So let's haul another load or two down there. Then I'll kind of explain what I'm doing down there and also what I'm doing up here. So what do you think of the dump truck?
Oh, I love it.
So I mentioned to them.
Backup alarms.
Yeah, it does have a. You can hear the backup alarm.
Which is nice because if you're stuck in the cloud of exhaust, you can hear it.
But you know what? It doesn't smoke as much when it's warm.
It's doing good.
When it's cold, it really smokes. But I'm going to take probably a bucket with the skid loader down there. We'll push that off.
Okay.
But there were some questions on the last video because it appeared that what I was doing was digging a hole and filling it back in. And that's exactly what I was doing, but there's a reason for that.
Right. Two different.
Yeah, two different kinds of dirt. Right. So I'm getting that good clay shale out because that makes good fill. And then I put the other stuff that I don't use or can't use back in the hole, which is why I'm doing it. So it'd be like if you made me a rice cake for dinner and put it here, and there was a cheeseburger here, I'd get rid of the rice cake.
And bring in the cheeseburger.
Right.
Oh, why not? Now I'm hungry for a cheeseburger.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm doing there. Get the good shale out, put the other stuff back in the hole. And I've been thinking with this dump truck, there's a lot of different places where we could use a little fill. Like up on this side of the building where I have some tractor attachments, could widen that out a little bit. So I'm going to keep digging in here and get a nice pile in the next couple days, get all those little spots, you know, filled up. But it hauls really well. I mean, it doesn't even grunt with that pretty good jag in there. You know what I mean?
It's a beaut.
She's a beaut. So before we go grade that off down there, why don't you tell them about your shirts?
Yeah. Go to outdoorswithmorgans.com and go to shop, click on shop, and then you'll see all the merch we have. And anything over $40, you'll get a free sticker. So.
And Melissa includes a personalized note with every order.
I write a thank you note for each order. And I've done that from like order number 200. I think the first 100, I was so new and like, oh my goodness. And then I realized I'm not thanking everybody. So I think in like 200s I started, and we're into the 2000s now. So I've written a lot of thank yous, but I really appreciate it. Go check it out. I think you'll like what you see.
I'll put a link in the description and I'll pin a comment with the link.
Thanks.
right, so what I'm doing here, this will be like the lower wood yard down there. This is pretty steep right here. So I'm gonna put some more fill in here, and then this will actually be the new trail that heads down to the pond.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably where those cable spools are, somewhere in there.
Shoot down.
We'll just kind of wind through those trees down there. I don't think I'll have to take any trees out or anything. But this will take probably 5 or 6 more loads in there. That end over there is all low. But I need to cut this down a little bit too, track it in, put a couple more lifts on it, and it'll be good.
Okay.
All right, I'm back down here at the wood yard. We had some family and friends stop over for a couple hours, so I just had dinner. Figured I'd come back down here and move some more dirt. I'm going to hop in the excavator and just get another big pile going right here in front of me. I could, you know, pull that all back some and load right into the truck, but to tell you the truth, I think it's just easier doing it this way. I'll get 4 or 5 loads ready right here, and it only takes, I don't even know, it doesn't take long at all to load that truck with this skid loader. Plus, doing it this way mixes it all up real well, because at the top of the cut, you've got a little bit of clay, then you've got some shale, then you've got some real hard shale. So just baling it into a big pile works for me. So that's a nice pile of material there. If I had to guess, I would say there's, I don't know, 40 tons there. Not quite 2 triaxle loads. And if you had to buy that, at least where we live, you're probably looking at about $250 a load. So right there is about $500 I just dug out of the ground. right, the road to the lower wood yard is definitely shaping up. Probably need, I don't know, 2 or 3 more loads down there at the bottom around that turn there. And then over here along the edge, I've got a bunch of roots and clay and topsoil. Once I get this where I want, I'll bring the excavator over here, grade all that up, and it'll look pretty good. I was thinking there a little bit ago, between Bluford, the excavator, and the skid loader, next year at this time, you'll call this channel Outdoors with the Flatlanders. Oh, someone was asking the other day how many hours the skid loader has on it. I'm up to 12.5. Bluford here, slightly more than that. I wanted to say something about this machine. There is a break-in period, and you're not supposed to run it at full throttle till you get past 50 hours. I have been running that probably, I don't know, 50-60% throttle, and it has an abundance of power. I don't know if I'll ever run it full throttle. I don't think there's any need to, but it is faster than I am so far. We'll see how it goes when I get a little bit better used to it. But yeah, this is 96 horsepower or something like that. Even like backing up that ramp down there, it just doesn't hesitate at all. Plenty of power. But anyway, I think that's about it for today's video. As far as Bluford goes, running like a top. The only thing I need to work on is to get that power steering to work a little bit better. It's very difficult to steer, but as long as you're going in a straight line, it's really not a big deal. But I think that's about it. I appreciate y'all being here, and I'll catch you on the next one.